Here is question number one. We're talking about Between the Waves. And what is question number one? What are the main ideas, themes, messages of this song? So, this song was tough for me to put together because I had this chord progression and I had that exact sound already mapped out. There was a setting on the keyboard in my basement. I had that setting. I loved the thickness and the heaviness of that keyboard sound, and I loved that progression because it had that same feel. But this was difficult because even the feel of the chord progression was so much different from the rest of the album. This was one of the later songs that I wrote, and just the sound of it and the feel of it was vastly different. It really stuck out compared to the other songs that I'd already put together. And I was like, I don't know if this even fits in here, but I should at least write it, see what happens. This was my chance to kind of voice my frustrations, have an angry song, kind of get some of that out. Because with the other songs, you don't really have a chance to get that anger out, and you need to somehow. So this is a song that's kind of about, you have times where you feel like you're just caught in a storm. Everything's fighting you. Nothing you do is working. And it's like, for me, there are times where it's like I'm living in third person. I'm watching myself spend 4, 5, 6 hours a day on my phone. I'm watching myself not do anything, just suck. I'm watching myself just be miserable, and I can't seem to pull myself out of it. I waste away another day, and I know this isn't what I want to do or how I want to be doing it, but I can't seem to pull myself out of it. And I'm the only one who can pull myself out of it. I can't break away. No one else can break in. It's up to me, and I can't seem to figure it out. That's kind of what this song is about. So writing this song, like I said, this was a tough one to write because it sticks out so much. And I'd already written 7 or 8 songs for the album, and this one was just outside of the wheelhouse of the album. This was outside of what I've been doing. There's 10 songs on this album, and when I finished the album, I had written 10 songs in my entire life. So I didn't have, and I still don't really have, like a pattern or a protocol for writing a song. And that helps with the creativity, I suppose, but it also makes it very difficult when I hit a roadblock because I don't know what to do. So I had this progression for a long time. This was a music first song. Lyrics came second, but I had that bum 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 dee 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 dee. I had that for a long time, and I knew it was this angry sound. I knew it was frustration, harsh kind of thing. But I'm trying to figure out how to approach that and keep it in my wheelhouse. So if you know me, I'm a huge, huge, huge Linkin Park fan. I go crazy. I got all their albums. I listen to them like nonstop. I listen to the underground stuff too. Yeah, I'm pretty big on Linkin Park. And believe me, if I could scream like that, or if I could rap passively even, that would be the kind of music I'd be making. I love that stuff. And I thought, well, here's your chance to at least give a nod, to at least try it out, put your foot in the water, just have some fun. Try to do it. And I tried to keep it within my wheelhouse, maybe maybe as I evolve, I'll get more comfortable trying really out there stuff. But this was kind of, I still want it to be me. I still want it to be my thing. But let's try being a little more aggressive. Let's try being a little more angry. Um, try some of this technological stuff. Um, and I did, and I'm not upset with how it worked out. That scream at the end, it's a scream. There's nothing technical about it. I literally am just shouting. It hurts my throat when I do that. When I was recording that, uh, that was tough. I recorded. Well, I'll talk about that later. But yeah, writing this one was tough. A lot of crossed out lines, a lot of erased lyrics, stuff that didn't work. I was definitely outside of my comfort zone, but I was pleased. I was pleased with how it came together. Like I said, I kind of wanted to get into the more electronic, play with the sounds of things a little more with this one. This track was kind of, it provided me an opportunity to kind of look into some different techniques and tactics for recording and creating a song that I don't look into in the others. It's just dabbling. It's nothing super impressive, but like that little thing to get into the second verse with the guitar, the dee 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 dee, that was all post. I had a recording of the guitar hitting that note and then sliding down, and then I got into the Pro Tools and zoomed way in and measured it out, figured out how to do that. This was kind of a learning on the job kind of song, trying out things I wanted to hear. It's always difficult taking it from here and getting it out. But this was a interesting, interesting time putting that together. One of the little Easter eggs in this song that I'm a huge fan of. It worked out better than I thought it would. So at the fire station, the fire department, we of course have our radios, and for most of the channels, when you key up the radio, it gives you a little beep to let you know you're live, you're on the air. Dee dee. You press the button, it goes dee dee, and then you talk. And I was like, oh, man, this whole time I'm going bum 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 da 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 da, and I thought, I bet I could sneak that in there somehow. Dee dee. So I recorded that at the end of a shift, and then I ran home and I opened up Pro Tools, and I had to kind of shift it a little bit and clip it down to the right size, but I got it in there, and I, I love it. It was only in there once, and it's towards the end of the song. Once you pick it up, it's hard to miss. I've been waiting ever since the song came out. I've been waiting for someone to ask me about that because I've been wanting to tell them what that is, but no one's asked me, so that's kind of why I'm doing this. Um, One thing that was really difficult in recording was the scream at the end. They're not difficult because it's like technically hard. It really, I'm just shouting. I just tried to work myself up and get myself in that headspace like, I'm angry. Yeah, and that was easy enough. But getting that to sound right, especially because there's nothing backing it up at first, we have a take. I still have it where I talk. I talk instead of yell, and it actually it's kind of like that's not bad. It's got an interesting kind of grit to it almost. It almost sounds angrier. Like when your dad whispers at you instead of yells at you. That's a lot scarier. But yeah, I sat on that decision for like a couple weeks. But that was tough. But recording this one was a lot of fun. Putting together all those little tiny bits, piecing them together into the song I wanted it to. That's something I hope I can delve more into in future recordings. This video, for obvious reasons, was one of the more fun ones to put together. I loved this one was a good time recording it and putting it together. So you see, I'm skateboarding in the first half of the video. I'm about as good at skateboarding as I am at like guitar. It's like if you don't know, if you're not really involved in skateboarding or guitar, you might be like, he looks like he's pretty good. But if you know, you're like, nah, he's not that good. But when I was growing up, I used to play Tony Hawk's Underground. That was my jam on PlayStation 2. I'd play that for hours, and I loved the sounds. I love the sounds of skateboarding, the wheels on the pavement, the trucks and the axles. You can tell I don't really know what I'm talking about. The sounds of skateboarding have always been like, I just love it. I even to this day, I'll watch clips of skateboarders just to listen to it. Obviously, what they're doing is super impressive. I love it. Wish I could do that. The sounds are really, I love those sounds. And the whole aesthetic of skateboarding is just so cool. And I wanted to do that because this is kind of a cool guy song. So, well, here we go. That's what we'll do for that. So that was a great time. I'm a little self-conscious about it because I'm at the skate park recording myself skateboarding when I'm not good enough to warrant recording my skateboarding abilities. I do like 2 tricks in the video, and that's about it because that's about all I can do. And the back half of the video, some of that stuff is clips I already had, but the final shot, and this is circled on the big board. This is what we're doing. This is the final shot of Between the Waves. I'm going to set up an office, and I'm just going to turn it into a rage room. And I went to my friend Adrian. His father had a warehouse, and he's had this warehouse since we were kids. And it always had this room, very weird, bunch of like 90s computers and old waterlogged desks and just junk. And it had been sitting in the same spot since we were kids. So I kind of like, that was more of an ask for forgiveness rather than permission thing. I just went into the warehouse one day and I set the whole thing up, and then I said, Adrian, Ethan, could you come here? I need you to film something for me. And they were like, what is this? And I said, okay, here's what we're gonna do. Ethan held the camera, and I said, here's the path that I'm taking. Stay out of my path, but keep the camera on me. We got one shot at this, okay? Because we're breaking things, and we did. That was a lot of fun doing that take. I wish you could have done it again, but you know, there's only so many things to break in this world. This is a question I almost don't even feel like I need to answer. This is the most unique song on the album. The whole sound field and the aesthetic and the textures used in the song, they're this close to just not belonging on the album. If there's a sore thumb on this record, it's this song. But I'm glad it's in there because that is a part of me, that kind of frustration and anger, and yeah, that's the new metal that I love to listen to, kind of bleeding through. And it had to somewhere if it was gonna be a truly me album. So there's a lot of ways this one is unique, but that's the main one. My friend Mark Stickford recorded the bass line on this, and I didn't actually write that part. He wrote that part, and I loved it. And I said, you gotta record it because I don't really play the bass either. So you gotta record that bass line. I put the guitar together. We put a couple little extra sounds in there. This one's unique in a number of pretty obvious ways.